everybody? My name's Harry James. Well, if you've been paying attention to what we all love around here in college football and the MAC, they've canceled college football, forwarded it, if you will, to the spring of 2021. Major college football, the Power Five, or really the Big Six with the New Year's Six bowls, they have not made that decision yet. They're still on hold, meaning that they still have this previews to do, as do we. They may have canceled all the non-conference games, except for the one against Missouri State, but not the conference games. And the next conference game on the list, final roadie of the year, Tech. Play them in Lubbock, the final regular season of college football, at least in the Big 12. We'll preview that one next. Boomer Sooner 1982. Don't go away! Welcome you back to the show, everybody. My name's Harry James. Final preview outside of OU this time around. Texas Tech, the Red Raiders, play their home games at AT&T Jones Stadium in Lubbock, Texas. 4-8 last year, 2-7 in Big 12 play. They finished 9th inside the Big 12. Their best win last year was about 90 miles up the road in Stillwater, Oklahoma, getting a 10-point win, 45-35 over the Cowboys. Their head coach, Matt Wells, the Okie. So there's that going on. So we got one of their locals. They got one of our locals. Now helping our local from Oklahoma out in Lubbock. Remember this guy? Alan Bowman? Remember him from a couple years ago? Last season, in just 3 games, guys, 1,020 yards, a touchdown and a pick. Longest pass last year, 66 yards. Again, did that in 3 games. 2019 had that shoulder injury that kept him from having 12, 13 games last season. Leading rusher last season, both of them coming back. The 2 coming back, that is. SaRodorick Thomas and Ahmad Schneid. We'll start with SaRodorick Thomas. $160 on the carry bar, to go with 765 yards on the ground, 12 touchdowns. 58 was a career-long rush for him, averaged 63.7 yards per ball game in 12 games. Ahmad Schneid, second on the team last year in rushes, 65 attempts last year, 374 yards on the ground, 2 touches, including a 45-yard long run, averaged about 48.6 yards per ball game last season, played in 8 games. Well, whether it's Bowman or whoever, you know they're going to want to get the ball out of his hands quickly. So you got to have some good receivers coming back, and oh boy, do they, in Lubbock. 84 Eric Azumuka, and TJ Vasher. We'll start with number 8, Eric Azukuma, 42 receptions last year, 664 yards through the air, 4 touchdown catches last season. 56 yards was a long reception for him, averaged about 55.3 yards per ball game last year in the air in 12 games. TJ Vasher also had a good year for Texas Tech last year. Number 5, TJ Vasher. He also had 42 receptions last year, but he had 515 yards to go with 6 touchdowns. His long 39 yards and averaged at the end about 51.5 yards per ball game, but he played in only 10 ball games. And then the defense in Lubbock. This is where Matt Wells really wanted to make a staple for himself, and he did. And the leading tacklers from last season returning: 1 graduated, 2 graduated, 3 is Rico Jeffers, and 4th Xavier Benson. Both the returners, leading tacklers last year. We'll start with 12 Rico Jeffers, 76 at the end of the season. 76 total tackles, 2 forced fumbles. 0 of those fumbles were recovered. 0 picks for the linebacker in 12 games. Xavier Benson, 37 Xavier Benson, 0 forced fumbles, 0 fumbles recovered, 0 picks for the 4th leading tackler last year in 12 games. Kicking. The leading kicker, Trey Wolf. Wolf, number 46 for the Texas Tech, 20 for 22. That is 90.9% accuracy, long of 45 yards in 12 games. That's the kicker. The punter, Kyle Thomas, 31 Kyle Thomas, 59 attempts last year, averaged 45.0 yards per punt last year as an average. 66 was a long 12 games, as many as he played in last year. Now last season, all last season. Recent history though, conference championship recent history, 1 conference divisional title, got one in 2008, along with those much more hated teams from Texas, the Teeth Sippers of Texas, and our Sooners, all tied for first place all the way back to 2008. But Oklahoma was the team invited to face Missouri in the Big 12 Championship back in 2008. That is the only divisional title in the era of Lincoln Riley and Bob Stoops. Their head coach, Matt Wells, 1996 draft from Utah State. Went back to his alma mater of Utah State back in 2013. Stayed there till 2018, 2 years ago. Till he got the big call to the big boys in the Power 5 conference. Can't turn that down. So from 29 to present, he's been at Texas Tech. And at Utah State in Lubbock, has coached 90 games at both universities with a 48-42 record. That is a 69.4% percentage rating and 50% 2-2 in 4 bowls. All right, guys, that'll do it for the Texas Tech preview week. Next week we'll preview the Sooners of Oklahoma. It's about that time, and then it'll just be a matter of time, literally a matter of time, because we don't really know when the Sooners will kick off the regular season after that. All right, guys, till then, keep it locked right here, Boomer Sooner 1982, where you can catch not just this, but all my videos at Boomer Sooner 1982 on YouTube, Facebook, Harry James Taylor. We're on Twitter at HypeManHarry. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and Boomer Sooner, everybody. Peace.